Welcome back in, everyone, for another fantastic episode of Get Tilted. I am your host, Brian Rockwood, who has forgotten how to do his intro. That's all right, because I am too busy glancing over at this barn burner of a game, the Bills and the Texans, just as we all thought this one was open. Very high-scoring affair as always, but we have a lot of main slate to get into today. So let's dive in and get started on some DFS.
You're listening to Get Tilted, only on Fantasy Now Plus.
That's right. It's week 12. It's Get Tilted, presented by Fantasy Now Plus and the Fins Sports Talk Network. I'm Brian Rockwood. Alongside me, as always, Tim Holstead. And we're ready to dive deep into this DFS slate, which has plenty of goings-ons and matchups that are both pretty important for real NFL and great for our DFS slips. So, Tim, I am curious to hear what you have going on. How's your day going?
It's going well. I'm starting too much Davis Mills in my life, so that's not going well. But yeah, it's the final stretch before fantasy playoffs start, and it's hard to believe, but the slate is getting tighter and more difficult every week, it feels like, and I'm excited to break it all down.
That's just what happens when people listen to Get Tilted every week. Things get better, slates get harder to win,
Absolutely.
and there's nothing else we can do. We're just giving away too much good free information. Before we get to this week, I do want to go back to last week's slip. As you may recall, we do build rosters on the show live in front of you in real time with all the discussion, all the back and forth, and all the budgeting right in front of you. And we wound up with this beauty of a roster here. I forgot to drag Tim into the screen, but we have this lovely roster here. And as you can imagine, we were really high on Jacoby Brissett. We were really high on Trey McBride. And we really liked pretty much all pieces of this Cardinals 49ers game. And we were rewarded for it, which was awesome. As long as you don't look at the Ricky Pearsall one reception disaster class, we were pretty all right. Amari DiMarcado was knocked out of the game early. That stunk pretty hard. But overall, I can't complain too much, considering almost 500 yards of passing for Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go back and rewatch, but I'm pretty sure that we talked ourselves out of Michael Wilson to get to Ricky Pearsall and then went down to Amari DiMarcado from someone else who probably would have played better. So, sometimes it's really that simple of you're right in 80% of the roster spots and the other 2 to 3 roster spots are so bad that it simply doesn't matter.
The process seemed good, just an unfortunate turn of events. You roll your ankle, nothing you can do.
Yep.
You just lose that guy for the whole week. The two other things I want to mention, Bengals, once again, are just a lock anytime you can. I mean, T. Higgins, touchdown, only have 3 catches.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You don't need that much. All you need to do is score. And Chase Brown, I guess, is back to being a workhorse. Thank you, Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that. Yeah. And just last thing I'll mention, couldn't think of a bigger miss than the alleged great Chargers defense that we had talked about. And on the flip side, the Jacksonville Jaguars defense did exactly what, Tim, you had said. Just attacked Justin Herbert at every chance.
Yep. mean, I liked the Chargers more, same as you. I trust Herbert more than Lawrence. I had faith in the Chargers run game, and when Vidal kind of went down early, it was mostly just over. Jaguars could just blitz more or less every play, and Herbert just couldn't do anything at the end.
That's just Sunday. That's just NFL. Any given Sunday, any team can come through and ruin your day, whether it be DFS or your normal season-long fantasy. So let's turn the page on last week. Let's head over to this week. Let me see if I can do this quick here. Oh boy, week 4 as always. Thank you, your lovely Sean, for setting these up. All right, first game of the week that we got going on here: the New York Jets and the Baltimore Ravens. Holy moly! I don't think you want to look at anybody from the New Jersey team.
No.
The Ravens seem pretty good, though.
Yeah. I am super into Derrick Henry this week. 7,600. Jets, as we will talk about for the rest of the year, have no one left on defense. And Lamar's kind of still banged up, I think. I don't think he's really fully healthy. He's not running the ball all that much. So he's still like playing fine as a quarterback, but he's not really getting fantasy points for you. He had a very rough game last week, but it is the Browns defense, so I don't fully blame him. It has been 2 good defenses since he came back, but I think against the Jets, you fire up Derrick Henry at 7,600. You accept that there is a small chance that somehow the game script is not good enough for him, but the most likely outcome is that it is. And we're into Derrick Henry season now. It's cold. Teams are tired. It's probably going to be bad weather the rest of the way. And this is where Henry just starts dropping nukes. So I'm very into him this week.
Yeah. No DB wants to try to tackle Derrick Henry late in the season when it's cold in Baltimore and you're already losing by a whole bunch of points, right? Couldn't agree more. 7,600 seems fine. Clearly, DraftKings is in agreement that the Jets defense does not exist, as he had spiked up $1,000, this week. That is pretty a pretty significant jump. I guess they being DK feels as though he's back. 100 yards against the Browns defense is no joke. That's light work for Derrick Henry. So definitely feels great if you're going to pick a type of chalky player like that. Now, Breece Hall is interesting to me, kind of in the same way that Derrick Henry will dominate in this game script, given the Ravens are ahead. Breece Hall, on the flip side, will need to catch up a lot of passes from Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I'm scared. It's very scary to try to play Breece Hall in this type of matchup, especially since the Ravens defense is continuing to improve week by week. Do you have the bravery necessary to look at Breece Hall this week?
6,100's not great, but not terrible. It's kind of right in the middle. It's enough that I wouldn't want to jam him everywhere, but not too much that I wouldn't play him at all. Do we remember which weeks it was that Taylor started? I'm curious what his output was in those weeks.
It was right after the Bills game because Justin Fields got hurt in week 2. I believe Tyrod started in week 3.
Yeah, weeks.
Yeah,
2,
that's right, because that was a crazy game.
Yeah. So not great. fantasy points wise. It was against two very good teams in Buffalo and Tampa, but not being able to run on Buffalo scares me as far as the ability to move the offense. And there's still no Garrett Wilson. Their wide receiver one is probably John Mechie at this point. So I think he's viable, especially if you're making a lot of lineups, but I don't know if he would be a priority for me. I think the game script is just too gross.
It's going to be really hard for me to try and pay up for that. And 6100 isn't really even paying up. It's just a kind of not a fun price tag.
Yeah.
Probably not going to make it, just due to the fact that it's kind of not an easy price point to work around for someone who might not live up to the hype. They're not won't reach that billing.
Yep.
I'm not playing a single wide receiver in this game.
Nope.
I don't even want to play Zay Flowers. I don't want to play Bateman. I don't want to play Hopkins, Mechie, Adonai Mitchell. I'm out. And I think that's it.
I'm not playing tight ends either. Like, I'm not playing Mark Andrews. I'm not playing Mason Taylor. Just I want nothing to do with the Jets on offense for pretty much the rest of the season outside of if Garrett Wilson comes back.
Let me say this about Mason Taylor. I don't remember what he did in those weeks with Tyrod Taylor. It looks like not a lot.
Yeah.
But 6 targets isn't nothing to laugh about. Like, isn't really disappointing.
Yeah.
The 18 yards doesn't really make sense, even a little bit.
Yeah. Taylor's not athletic enough to really be like a true dual threat quarterback anymore. And so now he's just old and on a bad offense with absolutely no one that can get open outside of Adonai Mitchell, but he can't catch or focus on his routes. So it's very hard to see a path where it even slightly works, let alone like pays off and goes above and beyond what you're hoping for.
I will say though, at 4,300, it's not the worst. I don't know if I will, but it at least is a really cheap option. Inexplicably, only 300 more bucks than Tyler Huntley, who will not see the field. So
yeah, I would rather pay 1,000 more for Jacoby Brissett, to be honest.
And that's because you're trying to win your DFS lineups. That's why you do that.
Generally the idea.
Hey, you never know. The Jets fans are always trying to find something to feel good about because it's been a doozy of a season.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think. Well, I guess last thing would be Baltimore defense.
Yep.
What's the price tag here? They are 3,900.
They're not the most expensive. There is a
Shocking.
$4,000 defense on this slate.
I can't wait to get there. I'm excited. All right, let's move on. Pittsburgh Steelers, they're visiting Chicago. And I do not know what to do with Caleb Williams. There's always the chance that he has the 3-touchdown game. There's unfortunately an equal chance that he doesn't do anything and they win.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, I don't know if it gets more coin flippy than this. Especially with somebody like, look at this, man. Like, you could have 40 points. Like, you can have 38.5 points, or you could just get 12 or 5. Like, and against the Steelers defense, which is they're coin flippy on their own right.
Yeah.
They locked down the Bengals last week. They got rolled over by the Chargers.
Yeah.
What version are we going to see from either team? I'm almost scared to play the majority of people in this game.
I think like the thing with Caleb is, I mean, he has 2 QB1 overall weeks on the season. Like, you know, with a quarterback like that, you just play him and accept that the weeks he doesn't hit, your lineup is sunk. So if you play at volume, I think he's a great quarterback to mix in. If you're playing 3 total lineups, then maybe not if he makes you squeamish. But I still don't really trust the Steelers defense. I think the Bengals kind of just played bad more than the Steelers defense played well. I would play Caleb. He's only 5,700. He has upside to pay off that price times 5. As far as how this game's going to go, you're absolutely right. It could be exactly like the Bengals and Steelers game of last week, or it could be 36-31 type of game of just defenses can't get a stop if you paid them. Offenses do whatever they want, even though the talent on the Steelers might not say that they can, but they just do sometimes, especially with Rodgers at quarterback. So we
might not even get Rodgers. We have no idea what's going on with that hand thing.
He's so stubborn. He's gonna play. Like, whether he plays well is a different story, but he's in his quote unquote retirement run. Like, he's not gonna miss a game for a small break in his non-throwing hand.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next point. Was at least it's in the non-important hand.
Yeah.
So we'll see how much that comes into play. I'm not a professional quarterback. I don't know how often you need your offhand to really do your job. So here's to hoping he does play, only to save some of the other options, like another guy that we might not know if he plays yet, Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
I think if he's healthy, he's kind of a lock for me. Yeah. 6,600 is expensive. This Bears defense is really, really bad.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you touch Gainwell unless you know for a fact Warren is out, because otherwise he's just invisible.
Yeah.
And Swift, I'm gonna pull him up because he's been kind of great. Since their bye.
Yeah, he's regressing a bit, but not too badly.
I'm not ultimate worried, because this is weird. Getting one target.
Yeah.
In a game where he probably should have, because that was a close game, and it's a very bad Minnesota offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, that game probably they just wanted to just burn it down and just move on.
Yeah, you always take a division game with a grain of salt.
I'm happy there. Wide receivers.
Rome is always interesting. I think he is the wide receiver version of Caleb, of just like, when he smashes, and otherwise he's just going to burn a hole in your lineup. So at 6,100, again, like, not too expensive. I would rather play him over Breece Hall in the flex at the same price point. Like, he can pay off for you. It's simply a question of will he. And another play that I really want to bring up, because it's very interesting, is Luther Burden. He seems to have surpassed Olamide Zaccheaus in snaps. Zaccheaus had his lowest snap rate of the season last week. And what's weird is that he didn't just become the slot wide receiver. They basically didn't play 3 wide receivers last week because that defense just blitzes the heck out of you. So they were playing 2 tight ends a lot. But he was like mixing in and like spelling Rome and DJ Moore. So there's a chance that he's just the slot wide receiver this week. There's a chance that he is an outside receiver and they move DJ Moore into the slot and they're just done with Zaccheaus. And there's almost no value on this slate at all. And 3,600, weak defense, talented, could pop off. I think he's a perfectly fine shot to play to fill in your lineup at 3,600.
And because that price, he doesn't need to do much.
Yeah.
We've said it a couple times with some players throughout the season. He's one of those guys, if one gets 50 yards, touchdown, done, happy. Love it.
Yep.
Everything else is just bonus points. I really like that shout out. I mean, I just like staring at the opponent rank for both of these teams.
Yeah.
This to me screams like tournament play. This is, hey, stack with Caleb, grab Rome, grab Burden. It's crazy. It might, again, like you said, completely blow up at your face, or you place somewhere relatively high because Rome has 2 touchdowns, Burden has a touchdown, and Caleb throws for 300. Those are all in the realm of possibility. We have seen other teams do this to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Steelers will probably do it back to the Bears.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm confident enough to play DK Metcalf because now he is the king of disappointment for sure. He has not been what has been advertised for the Steelers.
If it's Rodgers, I would. If it's Mason Rudolph, I have no interest.
I think that's a fair split. Just no need to mess with the backup QB.
Yeah.
Wait for Rodgers and hope that one of the 3 tight ends on the Steelers aren't the ones catching the touchdown.
Aren't we?
I'm so curious.
Darnell Washington, man.
What is this? Oh my god, I love it because for those who were really into Dynasty, I think 2 years ago, you saw Darnell Washington, Georgia, and you kind of just saw, oh, he's a huge dude.
Yeah,
this is a fun red zone target with the Steelers. Who knows? Maybe he can work with Freiermuth or whatever. And he's just been a glorified tackle up until this season. And now Aaron Rodgers has decided he needs to emerge as a screen target, as someone who needs to be regularly involved in this offense.
Yeah,
which great for you, Darnell.
He's outperforming Jonnu Smith, like just
by a lot.
Yeah, like they traded so much for Jonnu. He played so well in Arthur Smith's offense in Atlanta, and then they were just like, actually, we prefer the 300-pound tight end instead.
This dude is vastly slower than Jonnu Smith. Get him the ball.
Yeah.
Incredible. Arthur Smith has done it again, folks.
He's made a timeshare at running back and at tight end. It's truly remarkable.
At this point, you can only just applaud his efforts. Quickly getting out of the Arthur Smith vortex. Colson Loveland, he is someone who can absolutely go off, but I see it. I see the path. I see the value. If like we keep talking about tight ends, you want to buy the premium tight ends. Where does he fit here?
Even tight end is starting to get squeezed from a price point standpoint. Like there's not many under 4K that feel where you could even squint and say, yeah. So he has upside that no one else in that range really does. So I think he's a fine punt tight end play. But as long as Cole Kmet is healthy, it is kind of just you're hoping for a touchdown, which I've been watching a lot of Bears games this season just because I have Caleb as one of my quarterbacks in my home league, and I'm very invested in that team. And they do not throw in the red zone. Like Ben Johnson does not trust this man one bit. They run the ball over and over and over. And if it's 3rd and long, then they'll throw. But if they're inside the 5, they have no interest in a play action. They have no interest in a slant route. It's just Kyle Monangai over and over.
Which, unfortunately, as someone who loves him some Kyle Monangai, I'm happy to see him fall into the end zone once in a while.
Yeah.
The problem is there's too many pieces and too many. Like, I would love to play Kyle Monangai more in DFS, but 5,100 for someone who is really not the focal point of the offense is just like throwing away money.
Yeah.
Like he can run in for a 3-yard touchdown, and then he disappears because the team doesn't want to use him between the 20s, and DeAndre Swift can score from 30, 40 yards out.
Yep.
I'm sorry. The record's legend himself. It's not really, I would say, a very prudent play, even with this week. I don't. If you really want a bad time, play one of these defenses.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of.
Yeah.
We're gonna sit there. Okay. Now for the fun game. New England, Cincinnati, at Cincinnati. We got Drake May. I believe this is the most expensive QB on the slate this week for good reason. This might be the week that he throws for over 300 yards. He has not done it yet, which is still crazy to me. He's gotten very close, but he's not eclipsed 300 yards on the season. Has to be now.
Yeah. It's the spot. We have talked about it the last several weeks. When someone's facing the Bengals, you play them. That's why Drake May is priced up at 6,900 as he is. I don't know who to stack him with. Kind of like Caleb, where it's just like you want to play Caleb because he can go off for 35. And I think Drake May, especially in this game, has a similar ceiling outcome there. But anyone you stack is a 50-50 shot to get 2 catches or to get 2 touchdowns.
I think there's a really cool thing with Drake May that he will absolutely give you a really solid floor.
Yeah.
But the people he's throwing to is generally you at this point we've now pretty much found his favorites, which is good for us. The bad news is it's still pretty divided. So Stephon Diggs has emerged as his favorite target. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because this is just who we have thought it would be and who we knew it could be. It just took a while to kind of get there. Like last week, 11 targets. Kind of like a very strange one because to play against the Jets, kind of figured that would be more of a run-heavy game, especially with the emergence of Trevion Henderson, who we'll talk about in just probably 2 seconds. But Diggs is being that guy that we kind of hoped he would be for Drake May, which is great for us because that means we can kind of have a more reliable stacking option. But this is the dude right here. This is the one that if you want to get real spicy, Mac Hollins has somehow, some way, multiple games over 50 yards, over 5 catches, and he's playing. I wish I had the snap numbers in front of me. He's on the field a ton, because he is an excellent run blocker. So he like earns that time, right? So eventually they just send him deep once in a while, and there it goes, 45-yard, just catch and run.
Yeah,
very, very interesting play for me, especially against the Bengals.
It's interesting. It gets muddier with Booty probably being back. He's in play as well at 5K. Like, he wins deep and the Bengals can't defend deep. And this is why I said it's complicated. The Bengals are also the worst team in football against the tight end position. And so you have Hunter Henry at 3,900. He's basically the only tight end under 4K where you're like, yes, I want to play this guy a lot. He should, in theory, get there, but will he? I don't know. Like, what if it's the Austin Hooper game if he plays? Like, I want to stack him with Henry. Everything will point towards it working, but the Patriots offense is not that predictable, unfortunately. It's just, sometimes he gets 8 targets and sometimes he gets 2, and that's not really great. It's at least more stomachable at 3,900, but it's just a really complicated week where I love Drake May and I love the game, and I just don't know who to stack him with.
Just an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
From the Patriots side. I don't know if Austin Hooper will really interfere this week, but saying that out loud, like right now, like on on a live stream, yeah, he's gonna score 2 touchdowns. Lock it in, go for it. What was he? 2,500. If you are rest for money, why not? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't, but why not?
I mean, he's no different than playing Darnell Washington last week. Like, we were all over the Steelers tight ends. Freiermuth did nothing. Jonnu did nothing. It all went to Washington this time. Like, that could just happen with the Patriots. You shouldn't expect it, but it could.
And that one tight end wheel route, that one tight end seam right up the middle, Austin Hooper touchdown. It's going to be so obvious. You're going to stare at the game log and be like, how did I not play all the tight ends for the Patriots? Let's talk about the running backs here. Henderson has lit the fantasy community on fire. You know, he has shown us that he is the dude, but was clearly being held back by the Ramondre Stevenson show. And now Stevenson's back.
Yeah.
And Henderson's still priced 6,700.
Yeah. On paper, it should work. I guess, you know, the real question is, does Mike Vrabel accept that Ramondre does not help the offense in the same way that Henderson does? And is it a 50-50 time split? Is it 70-30 Henderson? Is it 70-30 Ramondre? Because that could absolutely happen, which is why I think you should play both of them in separate lineups, because there's an outcome where each of them gets 30 and the other one gets 10, and we don't really know how the split's going to be. So I think they're both playable. I think they both have great upside. You unfortunately just have to guess which one.
I really like that call about playing both in separate lineups, because I know for a fact that Ramondre Stevenson will get way more work than we want him to. The way I see this kind of panning out, and this is just based on kind of like, I'll call it past, just not necessarily data, the past vibes, I think is the best way to put it, because we have two players that are vastly different in skill sets. Despite his fumbling issues, Ramondre is better between the tackles. Henderson is just the guy that gets shot out of a cannon on the outside of a run, like outside run. He can break it off for 70 yards. Ramondre can't. So to me, this situation is going to look like Henderson between the 20s, you know, getting a lot of the major work throughout the middle of the field. Whereas once you kind of hit to the red zone, we're going to look at Ramondre to try and just pound it through. That is both exciting for Henderson, because then we get the big plays. It's heartbreaking for Henderson, because then we don't get the easy layup touchdowns that we've seen the past couple of games.
Yep.
I don't really think the Patriots want to give Henderson 80%, 70% even, because they are 9-2. They now have aspirations for the playoffs, so they're going to continue to keep running the split. So, yeah, this game's got a lot, and it's going to be a doozy, because we haven't even talked about the Bengals yet.
No.
So, just real quick, before we head to a break, I do see this question in from Bob Hope. Should I drop Jacoby Myers or Kenny Gainwell if Benson comes back? Thanks. No, thank you. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah, I would drop. My gut said Jacoby Myers. I don't know if that's true, because he is currently he led the team in targets last week.
Yeah. I would drop Gainwell. Like, he is only useful if Jalen Warren doesn't play, and it's only for this week. Jacoby Myers is someone that you could put into your flex in a pinch for the rest of the season if you need to, pretty comfortably. So I would rather have Myers than Gainwell, personally.
Yeah, I think that's where I'll land as well. Gainwell really being only helpful at this stage in the year if you have Warren.
Yep.
And you're going to need to have the handcuff ready and available. Yeah, otherwise, pick Jacoby Myers. I think he's going to end up being the top receiver in that room. All right. We are not even done with game 3, but we're going to take a quick ad break, and we'll be back to talk about the Bengals side of this game in 30 seconds. We're back. Let's talk Cincy. QB Joe Burrow might be back.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. He just said, I would like to play again. Please put me back into the lineup.
Yeah. I don't know why, to be honest. I know he's a competitor, and you can't just sit out because the season is lost, but the season is lost. Like, they're not making the playoffs. They're not coming back. They're not winning the division. So he is going to get smashed behind that offensive line again and probably put up fantasy points as long as he stays healthy. I mean, he's going to be in a similar position to Joe Flacco. It's just he's far better than Joe Flacco. So
I just can't believe that the coaches are letting him come back.
yeah.
Like, this is your franchise quarterback. I get it. Truly, I get it. You are still in a position somehow where you're not mathematically eliminated yet. But the Ravens have won 4 straight. They're going to win 5 straight. The Steelers are, for the most part, all together. So already you now have to somehow overcome those 2 teams.
Yeah.
And you're not really going to get close to the wild card because the Bills and the Chiefs are fighting for a wild card spot right now.
Yeah. And
you
have to beat this 9-2 Patriots team.
Exactly. Man, I don't know. The Patriots defense isn't necessarily going to beat you up in the same way that I'll even say the Steelers defense will come in with that amount of pressure, like the Vikings defense come around with that amount of pressure.
Yeah.
The pass defense is a lot more contained but solid.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense. And whatever. Like, I don't mind not playing against Joe Burrow. That'd be sick. Continue to have the Patriots have the softest schedule in the history of the league. That's what people are saying. The easiest schedule ever. But yeah, if he plays, I'm not playing him at 6,500. That's an absurd price for someone who's been on the IR for the past 10 weeks.
It's kind of a hot take, but I actually don't have any interest in the Bengals this week.
That is a hot take, and I kind of like it.
I mean, Jamar Chase is suspended. T. Higgins is going to be shadowed by Christian Gonzalez all game. The only other options in the passing game are Andre Yoshibas and Mitchell Tinsley. If they score fantasy points, oh well, like, good for the people that played them, I guess, but they're not good football players. They're not going to earn targets or just blow up a slate. And then it's Chase Brown against a pretty solid run defense. Like, Chase Brown was doing great because Joe Flacco was giving him 10 to 14 targets a game. That's not how Joe Burrow plays. He does not dump the ball off. He is constantly looking downfield. And frankly, if he's not looking downfield, he's getting sacked. That's kind of why the Bengals offense exploded this season. The line did not get better. Joe Flacco is just a lot more willing to get rid of the ball quickly, and Joe Burrow is not. So I think Chase Brown's a thin play. I think T. Higgins is very live to just give you an A.J. Brown game of here's 3 for 24. Yippee. You paid 7. Yeah.
7.1.
7.1K. Like, it might come back to bite me, but it would have to be like kind of a catastrophic defensive performance by the Patriots for Burrow and Higgins to really bury you, especially at their price points. They're not even discounted. So I'm kind of just not going to play Bengals for once.
I can follow your logic, and I like it. The only thing I will say is Yoshivas. I don't care about Mitchell Tinsley. I don't think that's really an avenue that we should really put people down, even if he is 2,500, like 3,000. This is the Stoneman, right? 3,000. Yeah. No, let's not do that. But Yoshivas is interesting only because we have seen him a couple times without Chase previous seasons. Not really this much this season.
Yeah.
And he has been relevant, which is not exciting. But at 4,100, that's way better than, like you said, 7,100 for T. Higgins, who will be covered by Christian Gonzalez. Yeah. He will probably be double teamed early and often. So I just want to highlight Yoshivas in the event that you are now looking at a roster decision that you have around 4K left.
Yeah.
Not my least favorite. Chase Brown is going to get. It has to do it in the air. He has to get the 8 targets to.
Yeah. I don't think he does.
Don't play a tight end. I guess you can play Noah Fant. I don't think you should.
I think Gesicki's back, which makes it hard
is
to
he
play.
Really? That's tragic for a potential tight end play.
Yeah, he's practicing. I don't know if he'll be activated, but he is practicing again.
All right, watch those practice reports, because if you have both Fant and Gesicki active, it's over.
If Gesicki plays, I mean, he basically is just a wide receiver at that point. Like, even with Fant, I kind of am interested in Gesicki. But
okay. Again, I found a Bengal you like. We got there.
Yeah, I mean, like is still a strong word. This is like, I absolutely have to play a bunch of other players, and I only have 2,600 left. Like, if he plays, you can stomach it, but he's not a target for me at all.
Yeah, couldn't say it better myself. Not necessarily someone you're targeting, but you're scrolling down, you say, "Oh, okay,
yep,
sure, okay." Long enough on that one. Let's head to Detroit. With the Giants and the Lions battling. We might get Dart back.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a very, very key piece at 5,600.
Is it bold for me to say that I have no interest in the Giants this week?
No, that's a normal human thing to do, because the Giants are, as we say, really bad.
I don't think Dart runs. I think they're going to rein him in from all the concussions. Like, Dayball just ran him into the ground to try and save his job, and it ended up costing him his job in the end. But, like, if Dart doesn't run, he's throwing to Wan'Dale Robinson as his wide receiver 1, and, like, Isaiah Hodgins is his wide receiver 2. Dart's only fantasy value is that he rushes the ball a lot and he gets rushing touchdowns. If he doesn't have very many or any designed runs, I don't know what his floor looks like. It could be good, but I have way less faith in it than I would have before the injury and before the firing.
I'm staring, like, I don't know if people notice my weird face. I made a face because there's only 1 week as a starter that he did not score a rushing touchdown.
Yep.
That's absurd. And even in that week, he still put up almost 20 points.
He's basically been like miniature Jalen Hurts this season, where he's just doing it all on the ground, and like anything you get through the air is just a bonus.
Man, this team is going to be good next year.
Yeah.
It should be anyway. We'll see who's their coaches. We'll see if it ends up staying as Kafka or not.
Yeah. But on the other side, I don't know if there's a Lion I don't want to play. Like, they're at home, they're in a dome, so you can play Goff. He's only 6K. The running backs are both in great spots. Like, even Montgomery is stomachable against a bad rush defense. All the pass catchers for the Lions because they're concentrated now with Sam Laporta on IR. So you'll happily play Amon-Ra and you'll happily play JMO.
5,700. Yeah, dude. This
Like,
might be someone I'm slamming a lot.
like it's more expensive than the Cardinals last week, but it feels like a similar spot where it's just like you just play all these guys. They all can score fantasy points for you.
I love I love Jared Goff this week because to me, and just the way the Lions have played their style of football, he's gonna come through and sling it this week. After how awful they played last week,
Yeah.
like there's gonna be a sense of just like, yeah, we are going to show everybody that that was a fluke. The weather was bad. You know, we should have won that game, and we're gonna put up 45 points on the hapless Giants. Yeah. So I'm with you. Fire them all up. I think you're playing Brock right.
He could.
Like he had 7 targets last week.
Yeah.
They wanted him to get the ball. They want the tight end to get the ball. Like, you know, I don't know if you had the displeasure or the unfortunate circumstance to watch this game, but he had almost no catchable targets.
Yeah.
None of those were like, I don't even think Laporta could catch most of those throws.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's that time of year. In the same way that Derrick Henry becomes the best running back in football, Jared Goff becomes the worst quarterback in football. If it's cold and there's weather, you do not touch Goff with a 10-foot pole. If it's in a dome, you play him with confidence, especially with Dan Campbell calling plays now. Like, they are aggressive. They're going to step on people's throats. It's back to the Ben Johnson days of just score points at will, and this is the game to do it. And he's not that expensive. He's a relatively affordable quarterback. So I think you get as many Lions as you can into every lineup and just go for it and see what else you can build around them.
I want to point towards the Lions defense. I don't know if it's worth playing because I can see the Giants putting up some amount of points with Dart back.
Yeah.
But just a thought. You can think about it.
He could also, like, if the coaching staff specifically tells him to stop running, like, he's going to throw a couple picks because he's going to overthink everything. So it really just comes down to, like, how much are the coaching staff going to baby Jackson Dart? Because if he can just play the way he wants to, and, you know, they try and get him to not run headfirst into every drive, like, he'll be great. If he's on a leash and they're trying to just run like a traditional pocket passer offense with him, he's not going to play well against a good defense with absolutely no weapons outside of a 5'7" wide receiver.
Hey, don't sleep on Darius Slayton. I don't think you should play him. I don't think he'll do good.
Is he
But don't sleep
playing?
on him. We will find out on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like, he's interesting-ish if he plays because he fits the way that Dart plays, but I don't know if he plays, and it's a thin bet for sure.
I hate clicking on this Wandale profile, man, because it's just so many targets. So many targets for a player that can kind of do something, but he's just he's just not like a slant boy really, but just a 5-yard out guy, and just down the field you go, chain mover.
Yeah, like, I like him better with Dart than I did with Winston, but
that's for sure.
I just, what do you win when you win? I guess, like, 50. What is he? 5,500, 5,600.
55.
Yeah, like, you're telling me for 200 more I could play JMO? Like, I'm playing JMO every time.
That is a hilarious. It's staring right in front of you too, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is an obvious slam. Last thing just because we need to touch on it. Tyrone Tracy. Oh, maybe not. Well, Tyrone Tracy did put up a pretty good showing last week. He did put up, 100 yards from the line of scrimmage, as they say. against the number 1 ranked rush defense? Maybe not.
I mean, every running back that gets that amount of work has some type of floor. It's just, is there ceiling? Probably not, but he's at least the type of player that can rip off a big runs, and he does catch passes, so he's not the worst play in the world. They definitely just like stopped using Devin Singletary in a stupid way last week, which is positive. So he's not a full fade, but he's not a fun click either.
He's going to be a player that you're going to be staring at and think, ugh, he has the volume, might as well, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe he gets a lot of receiving work, and then you're shocked when he scores like 10 points.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else left here. Let's just go ahead to Lambeau, Minnesota and Green Bay, another NFC North battle.
Yeah. I also just want to warn folks, like, I know that we're taking a long time on these early games. We will still be done relatively soon. The afternoon slate is absolutely abysmal. There's probably 3 total players in the afternoon window that we're going to talk about. Like, just disgusting game after disgusting game.
I want to talk about that Cleveland Vegas game a lot.
Oh boy.
So. All right, let's talk about some good players first, and then we'll talk about them. Green Bay. I don't want to play Jordan Love really ever. I think we can continue to just fade Jordan Love.
This is one of the disgusting games to me. I don't want to play really anyone unless Josh Jacobs misses the game. Then I want to play Emmanuel Wilson because he's cheap and he's going to get most of the work. But Jacobs is practicing and he's trying to play this week. So Wilson's kind of the only play for me. I have no interest in any Vikings with JJ McCarthy at quarterback. Like, I just don't.
Not even Aaron Jones Sr. himself, who I think should get a lot of receiving work in this one.
What good are screens if they're chucked at you at 95 miles an hour? Like,
it's a little boost. It's a little boost for the running back to say, run fast.
yeah.
Let me throw it as hard as I can.
McCarthy is bad. Like, not young and inexperienced, just like Josh Rosen bad, of just, this guy is not actually a starting level quarterback at all.
I want to agree with you. My heart of hearts is telling me we need to see like 2 more games, and if we keep which is so dumb, because nothing in this player's profile has told you that he can be a guy that's 6th round in this league, right? Especially in one of like the toughest divisions in the league right now.
Yeah,
because everybody else has a franchise quarterback and elite talent around them. JJ has elite talent. He just cannot, for the life of him, figure it out. Like, come on. This is just not playable. And then it really highlights why Carson Wentz played for so long.
Yeah. That probably should have tipped us off, to be honest, of the fact that McCarthy had, what was a sprained ankle? I don't even remember what the injury was.
Yeah, high ankle sprain.
Yeah, and they would rather have played Carson Wentz with a dislocated collarbone or whatever he was for 3 games, including 2 in Europe. Like, they would have rather ran Wentz out, and he played better in that state than McCarthy has played all season. Like, that's a huge red flag that we were all just kind of like, it's fine.
We can skip that. We finally found a quarterback project that Kevin O'Connell cannot handle, at least for the moment. This is something a little different than he's really worked with before. He has had a lot of veterans. So a true underprepared rookie in a season that they kind of had aspirations to go to the playoffs.
Yep.
Yikes.
But I mean, like, from a Packers standpoint, maybe Watson. He's fun. He scores. I don't want to play Dobbs. I know he's probably the target leader, but it's a good defense. Jordan Love is not good against the blitz, and he's going to get blitzed the bejesus out of him in this game, like any team that faces the Vikings. I'm interested in Watson, but he's going to have to connect on a deep pass or two to pay off. But he's at least cheap enough where that's not going to kill you if he doesn't.
Yeah. I wanted to click Jalen Naylor's name to figure out if he did anything else the rest of the year, and I have confirmed my priors. He is just a dude. He is just a player who suits up every week and somehow lucked into. I thought he had 2 touchdowns that game. No, just one.
No, he had one very long play that wasn't a touchdown, and then he had a short touchdown.
That's right. That's
which is very frustrating because I was very in on Jordan Addison that week, and he basically just got all the production that Addison should have gotten.
Man, I'm just going to take 30 seconds and look at these targets and the receptions for Addison and Jefferson because, man, what is happening?
It's even worse when you scroll down and see what he did with Wentz.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it is hard. It's hard to see like just these players who should still like these are truly elite options.
Yeah.
And JJ McCarthy just can't hit him. Like Justin Jefferson has always, and I mean like always, put up ridiculous numbers with whoever's been at quarterback. Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins. Who's the other guy? Oh my gosh, he was one of the other draft picks. I think it was like, no.
It wasn't Jaron Hall because he got injured right away, didn't he?
It was Jaron Hall. That was the name I was thinking of. But yeah, he played, I think, a half. And then Mullins finished that game or something like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Dobbs came in off the street, basically, of like he was traded for that week, and he played great.
It just, the more evidence that we look at, the more we think, wow, JJ McCarthy is that bad.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm not playing Jefferson. He's too expensive. You remember Jamar Chase the first time with Jake Browning, where it was just like, it was either 8 or 30. It's basically that, except the ceiling's not 30. The ceiling is 20. And so
maybe 20.
Yeah. Like Jefferson doesn't score touchdowns at the rate that Chase does. And he is just not going to pay off unless McCarthy just flips a switch and figures it out, which like from a personal standpoint, I hope he does. Like we need good quarterbacks. He seems like a talented, good head on his shoulders young man, but he's not good at quarterbacking right now, unfortunately.
And it makes it even more like frustrating because a bad quarterback's best friend is still useless.
Yeah.
How does TJ Hawkinson not be a better player for him?
To be fair, I think Hawkinson's just washed at this point. Like he doesn't look like TJ Hawkinson of old, like even from an athleticism standpoint. But you would think that he would still semi get there, and he's not. So
hate to see it. It's
yeah.
really tough.
Play the Packers defense, folks.
Yeah, at 3,600, please. That seems like an absolute must play.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you didn't notice, McCarthy has 8 interceptions on the season already. So
I did not notice that.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in 4.5 games.
Come on, man. And
Yeah.
4 fumbles.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
play the Packers.
I think Packers defense is a lock. Okay. Kansas, Indianapolis. This game has implications much more important than DFS, but luckily we're not interested in that. We're not interested in the playoffs. Yeah. We want to see if Mahomes and Daniel Jones can get through it. We have to monitor the injury for Daniel Jones. I want to see if DraftKings has it. Any of the kind of news and notes, because
In the overview, it might say.
if he misses, sorry, the news tab. We're getting there.
I don't think that used to be there, to be fair. It used to be in the overview tab.
Well, lucky us. They spread it apart. Yeah, limited practice Thursday on a calf injury. Uh-oh. Now, Thursday is kind of important.
And off a bye, where he was healthy to start practice this week.
Watch that, because this will then have a massive ripple effect on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because
it's not Anthony Richardson. It's
Riley Leonard, the pride of Notre Dame, if he has to get into this game,
play Jonathan Taylor if that happens.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if he can play Jonathan Taylor, because if Riley Leonard's in the game, you don't think Spags is not loading the box with like all 11 players?
I just don't think it matters for Taylor. Like, I get your point, and you're probably right, but he's just having that kind of season. And yes, he's 10K.
Yeah, that's why my jaw just dropped, because oh my God.
I mean, outside of week 9, like, look at this season that he is having. Like, literally absurd. And remember, in week 1, he got vultured 3 times on the goal line. He could have broken week 1 as well. Like, he's had 2 games under 20 points. The game they lost, both games they lost, actually. That's it. Like he's breaking the season.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think you're just right. I think this O-line and this offense is just good enough where it just doesn't matter.
I mean, they won how many games with Anthony Richardson? Like, they were okay. Like, Riley Leonard's not good. Like, don't hear what I'm not saying, but like they won't just pumpkin with him at quarterback. They will still attempt to put up a fight, and they will probably still score like 17 to 28 points, somewhere in there, because this offense is just that good.
Sticking with the Colts, I don't know if I want to play Pittman in this type of matchup, but I do like the prospect of Alec Pierce. I do think Alec Pierce is an interesting name, because he has been a rather reliable target. And I think we talked about him last week too. We didn't really I don't think we had that was within the main slate. We could have played him. We didn't, because
no, not last week. Last week was week 11.
They were on a bye.
Sure were.
And this was overseas. So we haven't seen him in the main slate for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now is our chance. He's only now 5,000, and I think this is a player who might be more important than we think. Because if they do stack the box, which again might not matter, this will be open.
Yep.
They'll get beat deep.
Well, we talked about it with the Broncos last week, where Troy Franklin kind of just quietly overtook Cortland Sutton as the wide receiver 1. And I think Alec Pierce is just kind of quietly doing that with Michael Pittman in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Like, it's kind of bizarre. They're getting relatively equal targets, but Pierce is definitely getting the more valuable touches. He's getting the deep looks. He's getting the intermediate over the field. Like, they're both kind of taking all the targets, and Josh Downs just doesn't exist anymore, which is very bizarre, but it's working. So I'm not going to question it too much. But yeah, Alec Pierce is one of my favorite plays at 5K.
I just like the boom that it gives you. I do just like the upside.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk some Chiefs. QB Patrick Mahomes, he's been great this year. The past few weeks that we've seen him has been a little more quiet.
Yeah.
I don't think that continues here. I don't think the Colts defense is anything to really be scared of.
Yeah.
And they're playing for a wild card spot, so they're kind of in, and it's odd to say, like, they're kind of in playoff mode right now, where every game is kind of a must win.
Yeah.
I like Mahomes here. It's expensive at 6,800. Would I rather May at 6,900? Yep.
Yep.
But hey, if you need an extra $100, look no further. Now, Kareem Hunt
No.
is interesting. No,
No. Just no.
come on. Like, I mean, I know why. It's because he's not particularly good,
Correct.
but he is just a volume machine at this point
Yeah.
with F for 5,100. The only question being, is everyone healthy?
I don't think Pacheco's going to play again. I don't think he's been practicing at all. He's
Limited at practice. He's going to miss.
Most likely, because he missed on Wednesday. He's limited today. Like, he would have to just miraculously practice in full tomorrow to have a good shot at playing.
So I'm going to go ahead and assume it will be Hunt. I know you want to say no, but we'll come back to it. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Rashid Rice, love him.
Yep.
Just the dude.
He's cheap because he had a bad week, but he doesn't have bad weeks. That was his worst game in 2.5 years. Like, and it was still almost 10 points. Like,
yeah,
you should play him.
I mean, and against a really good Denver defense.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged. Tight end, Warren and Kelsey. I'm
both
down to play either.
Yep. Kelsey's randomly stopped being washed.
He remembered.
Literally, like his yak is back. Like, he stopped being old and sitting in zone, and he's just actually like making plays on his receptions now. It's so random.
Hey, you can't keep a good Kelsey down or something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's a phrase.
And
the more exciting tight end, Tyler Warren. I mean, maybe I can't even say that because no. All right, I was gonna say he has everything we need to be a great tight end for us this week, and I think this is just another good matchup. Yeah, nothing much else.
Yeah,
love him.
He's a viable tight end. He's a viable flex play. Kelsey kind of in the same boat. They're both more on the expensive side for tight ends, but there's also someone else we're going to talk about later that is way better of a play than both of them. So they might be solid flex plays for how condensed the pricing is.
Then let's go ahead and just find that player that we like a lot. It's certainly not in this game. Seattle, Tennessee. I think this one starts with our, oh my gosh, let's talk about nobody in this game. Because
click the defense tab.
Yeah. Sam Darnold, sure. He's had a bad couple of weeks. I don't think that's Sam Darnold. I think that's just a weird game against Arizona where they were up by 30 points before anything happened. And then the Rams are an elite defense. Like, truly, the Rams are one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
And four picks is classic Darnold. But I don't think that's what he is this season.
He had 3 turnovers in the Cardinals game. He lost 2 fumbles and he threw another pick. So he does have 7 turnovers in his last 2 games. And like, I don't think he's going to pumpkin from that perspective, but like, they could just be up by like 28 points at halftime. And if he has 146 pass yards and 1 touchdown, like, he could just be done. And then you have 8 points again. So like, I don't know if they're going to push them to the point of scoring a lot of fantasy points, but also they have to score 28 points somehow, so it could get there.
I would be wary of actually starting Darnold.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for that reason, because I want to talk about the running backs because they're actually the more important of the two players here. Like, Ken Walker could be the guy that wins you your week this week.
Yeah, fire him up. They stopped playing Charbonnet very much. It is mostly.
Thank goodness.
I know, right?
Like, please play the better player. It's silly that we have to be clamming for this every week.
You hear that,
every year,
Vrabel?
honestly, last year too, a little bit.
Vrabel, we're talking to you.
Like, don't do that. Like, it's gonna be tempting because he's 4,900. Try not to. Like, because you will be relying on the 3-yard touchdown that Ken Walker spent 60 yards getting.
Which it's very possible happens because it's the Titans, but it's not going to be fun to play.
I don't think you want to waste your time with the Titans running backs, despite how exciting Tajay Spears might be.
No.
Like 5 catches on 5 targets is kind of nice.
Yeah, but against this defense, like I just
pass.
They could goose, like they could just score 0 points. That is fully in the realm.
Yeah, and I think betting on that would be a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
JSN 9,000. I'm almost tempted to not play him.
Same.
For the reasons that we said that we don't like Darnold.
But also, like, it doesn't matter. Like, look at that season.
Okay, just kidding.
Like, what was the one game that he had 11 points?
That would be the Seahawks. That was at the Arizona game where I think he got hurt.
Even still, it was still 5 for 79. He just didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah, he had 3 rush attempts in that game.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, I know it's gross, but also, like, a lot of the target earners aren't on this slate. Like, you don't have Puka, you don't have Chase. You have kind of a weird, confusing situation with the Cowboys right now. So, like, he is the clear best player from he's going to get targets. It's just, does he score the touchdown or not is really going to be how you get paid off at 9K.
And truly, he has 1,100 yards already.
Yeah, that's
don't worry about it. Just pay up to get him. It's fine. He will get you there. In the very least, if he does give you 15 points, okay. Sorry, man. You got his off week.
Yep.
I think you can't be too mad about that.
Yeah. And we're done.
I think, yeah. I'm not playing AJ Barner. I'm not playing Jigga Conquo.
Barner is interesting-ish. He got
don't be fooled by this.
Yeah.
I don't know how many games he's having 11 targets.
It is also just something to think about because he is a true punt tight end at 3,300. He is their tush pusher, so he could get a rush touchdown in a weird game script. Like, that's not going to be Darnold, it's going to be him. So he does have that slightly in his bag, but it's, again, at 3.3, like, that's kind of what you're hoping for, is like 4 targets and a tush push touchdown. But there's worse ways to spend 3,300 for sure.
Yeah, I am hesitant because I don't think it's going to get there. Like, this is insane to me. Like, yeah.
That's fully possible.
Defense, 4K. I'm paying up. I think this is just another one that you're just going to love. Yeah, I don't. Doesn't even say like their record on the year or their rank. Yeah, the Seahawks defense again is just so very good, and this Tennessee Titans offense is so very bad.
Yeah, it's not good, and Ridley's out for the year, and just Cam Ward is bad, unfortunately. So that's his highest fantasy point game so far, by the way, 14.1
against Houston. Make note. Make note. That's a God. That's going to be a long journey for Cam Ward to be relevant.
Yeah, they need
good luck.
They need weapons and line and coaching, and just it's not fun.
I can't imagine being a number 1 overall pick because that's tough. Okay, another speed round because our boy's back. It's Brissett time, baby. I think Brissett is just another one at 5,300. Yeah, man, get him back in there.
Yep.
stack them up again with Trey McBride, and you are just in business.
Yeah, I have a relatively, it's not unique, but I have a relatively strong opinion on this game of Harrison's out again. I think you should play Michael Wilson again. I don't think he's going to give you everything he gave you last week, but you could get 15 to 20 again relatively easily, especially if the Cardinals get down early in this game. And Trey McBride at 6,800 is the most expensive tight end. He, since Jacoby Brissett became the starter, he is third in the league in fantasy points. Just total, not a tight end, total. Like, he is basically a wide receiver one that you can get for 6,800. If he's not your tight end, he should be your flex every single time.
There's not really a reason why you don't play Trey McBride right now.
Yeah.
Straight up. I should, like, all right, okay. Very, very big caveat of, like, I'm in the mentality of playing cash, right? I mean, even in tournaments, I think you still play him. But, like, you know, if you really wanted to do something else funky and, like, to really, like, diversify your roster, sure. But, like, if you want 30 points, you want 20 to 30 points, you just pay 6,800 in your tight end position, and then you start the rest of your roster.
Yep.
I think the Cardinals in this matchup are just like a perfect triple stack.
Yep.
Running back, I think you just skip. I mean, Trey Benson might be back, but I'm almost thinking, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't stress.
I'm stuck in the Tootin whirlpool because he was kind of overtaking ETN last week, and then he got hurt, but he, even though it looked like he was going to have a season ender, he's playing and practicing already, like on a limited basis, so he may not even miss a game. ETN is also banged up. It's a situation to monitor. I don't know if I have the stones to play him yet, but I mean, at 4,600, you could just get the starting running back who gets 60% of the work.
This is definitely the let's watch the injury report as we get closer to, because I think you probably don't go wrong playing either one if the other one is out.
Yeah.
I think you're really gonna like it. I'm shocked by the Tootin line that he had no catches last week, because he screams to me a person that you want to get out in space and let him run his track speed.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
They like ETN for that as well, to be fair. Like, and he is good at that. It's kind of what makes the backfield so frustrating is like they kind of vulture each other in that Tootin is the goal line back, but also has more explosiveness and better speed. But so you would think he would also be the pass catcher, but that's more so ETN, even though it didn't happen last week because they didn't need to, because they blew the tar off of the Chargers.
Just another backfield that we have to just look at and say, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Give us something.
But, like, I don't think you play any other Jaguars, to be honest.
I don't think so.
Which is funny because we're both expecting them to win by a decent amount. But
like, we didn't really talk about this game last week, the Bills in Tampa Bay at all.
Yeah.
But someone had mentioned, like, why weren't there any points to the players that you thought would score points?
Yep.
That's how I feel this game is going to happen for the Jags. Like, I don't see Parker Washington being a player that really takes over. I don't think Jacoby Myers is someone who can really take over. I think this game ends up being a lot of, working down the field and then running back touchdown.
Yeah.
Or maybe Lawrence, scampers in for one. This doesn't seem like a game where I'm playing a lot of the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Honestly, outside of Michael Wilson, probably none.
Greg Dortch is fine as a punt again. I mean, he was on the field basically all game. He got a lot of work. Brissett is Brissetting, so he's playable with Harrison out, but it's a lot thinner of a bet than Michael Wilson is for sure. But he's also $500 cheaper, just like he was last week compared to Wilson. So,
Hey, 6 targets, 6 catches. That's nothing. That's not too bad, especially when we had a tight end who had 150 yards and a wide receiver who had 180.
Yeah. Well, and they also use him a lot on like the jet sweeps and the motions and whatnot. So he didn't even really get that in that game, but he does normally. Like if you see the other 2 games, he had 2 rushes, 1 rush. Like he always gets some manufactured touches in the normal offense. And now that he's the wide receiver 2 in this offense, he also has a target floor that's fine.
Yeah, they said we can't waste your talents on trick plays and manufactured touches. Get out there and run routes, buddy.
Yep.
Open up the lanes for Michael Wilson. I don't think you're playing a defense in this one. I mean, you could play Jags.
Yeah, you could play Jacksonville if you think this is the week that Brissett falls back to earth, and honestly, you could probably play the Cardinals defense if you don't think that Lawrence is that good, which I don't personally. Like the Jags the Jags lost to the Texans with Davis Mills a few weeks ago. Like anything is possible in this game. So I think they're fine. Just you have exactly that salary left. Play those defenses.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, you have about 10 seconds to tell me if there's anybody in this game that you want to talk about. Cleveland Browns are visiting the Las Vegas Raiders.
Brock Bowers next.
Okay, how about the Browns defense?
Both defenses, please.
Raiders defense
against Shadur.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
What does Shadur cost?
Don't care.
4,200.
I would rather play Dylan Gabriel, and he's going to miss the game. So
at least you won't get negative points if you play Dylan Gabriel.
There is real possibility you get negative points with Shadur. And I'm not touching Geno.
Yeah. And this stinks too, man. Like the Judkins thing. They're way too expensive.
Yeah, I know. Judkins, it just keeps... He's going to get the work. Like, they're not going to come out throwing with Shadur Sanders. So, like, he could get there. The Raiders' defense is nothing special. Like, they're priced up because Shadur is playing, not because they're good. Like, Judkins could just rip off 2 long touchdowns, and they're in this game. They're probably going to win this game, even with Shadur at quarterback. And if that happens, it's because Judkins went off. So, like, it's gross. He could absolutely just give you 5.9 again, like he did last week, but he could also give you 20 to 25, and you'd be happy with that. But it's not fun.
Another play where you're closing your eyes, watching the game through your fingers, and thinking, please let the Raiders defense be bad again.
Yeah.
And please, Stefanski, just run the ball and don't let Shadur get killed by Max Crosby.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. I think we're done here.
Literally, like, Trey Tucker's too expensive. If he was $1,000 cheaper, then I'd be interested. But at $5,100, like, no, thank you.
This is unbelievable.
Just
the whole slate is so cheap.
Yeah, like someone's going to play Browns, like, because no one's playing Browns. So, like, if you want to be that person to just be like, hey, there's a 1% chance this works in giant tournaments that you could win $1 million in, like, go for it. But I will personally not be doing that.
I think it's in your best interest to fade any of the Browns pass catchers.
Yeah.
I say that, and yeah, Fannin is probably someone I will reluctantly look at a lot because Njoku might be out.
If Njoku misses, I'll look at him. If they're both playing, I'm just not. Like, again, like, Shadur did not lead any drives, and the only play positive was to Fannin. So, like, he's a target, but it's, you know, you're not getting a touchdown, like almost certainly not getting a touchdown. It's just going to be pray for enough receptions to get you over 10 points. Yeah. Brock Bowers, though, he's just great. The Raiders are stupid, as we could tell by their last couple of games. But, I mean, he had 12 targets. He had 72 yards. He didn't catch the touchdown, but even with the Browns defense being good, Brock Bowers is still like a top 2 to 3 tight end in football, and he's only 6K. So I think he's also perfectly viable as like you want to play a flex and you don't like anyone in the 55 to 6,500 range. Like I think he's going to get 10-ish targets as long as they don't call the game they called against the Broncos, which was beyond baffling, but that's the Raiders season in a nutshell, is beyond baffling.
Straight to jail. Chip Kelly, straight to jail for not getting Brock Bowers involved. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, they ran Ashton Genty had 5 rushes last week
6.
against the worst rushing defense in football. Great game plan. Just flawless.
Add it to the list of games where we say clearly we're missing something. Clearly,
Yeah.
The NFL offensive coordinators know something we don't, because how could you possibly give your 6th overall draft pick 6 carries?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
In the game of all games to play him.
But they got Quinnen Williams. Stop it. Cut it out. Throw the ball 30 times in the first half. Just an absolute tragedy. Okay. I want to be done with this game. Anything else?
Goodness, no.
Okay. Philly going to Dallas. This is a weird game because the Philly defense is truly elite.
Yeah.
The Dallas offense is elite.
Yep.
Something's got to give.
I mean, what's the saying? Like, great offense always trumps great defense. Like, I think you play just about everyone in this game, and it's kind of underliked by the community and content creators. But I mean, the Cowboys won in week 1 against this team. Like, they pushed the Eagles. I don't know, like, Saquon's in a good spot if the Eagles can get him going. The pass catchers are in a good spot if the Cowboys actually do push them and they have to throw somewhat. Like, I like Devonta a bit more than AJ Brown, but I kind of like them both. And then, the Cowboys, Dallas Goedert is a great play if the Eagles are pushed. And then on the other side, it's kind of a similar bet of like, Dak's going to get there as long as Pickens and Lamb get there, and they're going to get there as long as Dak gets there. Jake Ferguson has stopped getting targets and only catches touchdowns now. So, like, he's not a fun click, but he is a click. And Javonte just gets points because no one else touches the ball in the backfield. So I kind of feel like you can play everyone. That might just be me, but
You're not alone. This is a game that I'm in on because it's going to be like, since it's in Dallas,
yeah,
this is going to be a shootout for sure.
Yeah, it's in a dome. Like, I don't see this being the Lions and Eagles, because the Lions defense was also good. Cowboys defense is not good and will not improve simply because they added Quinnen Williams. Like, they're going to have to score points.
Yeah, I think the only tricky part of this whole game is price.
Yeah.
Like you can't afford everybody.
No.
But you can definitely get a bunch of pieces. Like, you're going to have to make a tough call between Lamb and Pickens, or, Goddard, Devonta Smith. Like, do you want to play Saquon? You probably should.
Yeah.
Like, but in the same game, Javonte is 1,000 less. What do we choose to do? So it's going to be a very tricky one to kind of juggle the fun options with the fact that we have a budget, making this game hard for us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch either defense though. Talking about all the good offensive weapons, I don't want to bet on a defensive stop.
Yeah.
All right, last game of the slate.
And skip.
Oh my gosh. Wow. For the sake of time, I say that as we're running around 90. I don't want to get into my Atlanta Falcons tirade because it's just such a bummer all the way down.
Yeah.
And like, can we afford to play Cousins?
No.
Probably not.
He's bad. He is full washed.
Like, he is 100% just like truly a Coles quarterback now. He is not quite.
He put up 10 points on the Miami Dolphins at home. No. Like, do you play anyone in this game? Serious question.
There is something to be said about the hope that Bijan Robinson is the entire offense. Is that hope worth 8,500? No, is going to be my assumption and my prognosis. That might be the right word.
Yeah. We're doctors.
That's what the D stands for in DFS, right?
Yeah.
Drake London is out of this game. I'm not playing Darnell Mooney, man. You would have to pay me to play Darnell Mooney. Like, if I got back 4,800, then maybe I would play Darnell Mooney.
Yeah. Like,
Olave is the only option I think is worth
he's
doing this.
Fine, but like the Falcons defense is still good. It's just their offense is run by a clown car at this point. Like, I don't even know what they're doing. But like, I don't want to play Bijan. I just don't. He had a much better matchup the last time when he was with Kirk Cousins, and they didn't give him the ball because they were down almost immediately. And they didn't have Drake London, and they couldn't move it, and Kirk Cousins can't move. And this is the exact same scenario. It's Kirk Cousins. There's no Drake London. It should be Bijan, but it's not going to be. And the Saints are fine, but like, they're favored in this game. Like, and I kind of agree. Like, I would rather play Saints than Falcons, but even then, it's like, ew. Tyler Shock.
Yeah, truly, this is probably the only Saints player I want to play.
Yeah, like he's viable. Like he got a workload. I think he was kind of a squeaky wheel, if I remember correctly. Like, he wanted the ball, he got it. He's probably going to get a lot of targets. So,
if he scores if he scores 2 weeks ago before the bye, that you're stoked. Like you crushed, right?
Yeah.
So I can see a lot in the same way. Like I can see this game going in a way that Kamara gets another 20 attempts. I can see it getting another 5 targets.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. A lot.
Like 5,500 for that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, it won't be fun, but he would, like, I would rather play him than Tyrone Tracy for sure. Like, I would still play Walker over him, but like, they're close.
It's going to be really weird when we get down to the 56, 57 like price range.
Yep.
And it's Kamara or them. And you just look at it and you go, I guess I'm playing the player who is in a dome and is favored.
And at home.
So odd. So weird.
Yeah. I think Olave's fine, but it's not fun. Like, I don't know. He's looked good in this offense for sure. He's scoring touchdowns for the first time in his life. So you kind of need him to do that again. But I mean, if he does get 8+ targets, it's a good bet to make, and he's affordable. So I don't hate it, but he's not exciting.
I really want to see how they play off the bye.
Yeah.
Because if they're good and Shuck ends up being a player that deserved to be taken in the second round, then we might have something going with the Saints going forward in the last few weeks of the season here. If he doesn't and they're slow and they can't handle the Atlanta team, like the Atlanta defense, cool. Just out again on both these teams.
Yep.
We made it at a brisk pace. All right, let's hop into a roster building. And I think this might be quick. I think the only tricky part will be the last few pieces here. So the first question to you: do we want to pay for Drake May and the Bengals, or I'm really only contemplating Drake May and then Jacoby Brissett?
I think pricing is just too tight. I think Brissett is just like, he's going to score fantasy points again unless he pumpkins, and if he pumpkins, this lineup doesn't matter anyways. So like, it's gonna just not score the points needed. So I would rather pay down, get the savings, and not have to worry about playing like your $4,000, $4,500 wide receivers that are just gross.
Yeah, and talking about your 4,000 receivers, I want to play Michael Wilson.
Yep.
I think I want to play him, and I think we just continue to ride the train that is the Arizona fling the ball Cardinals.
Yep. Yeah.
So
no arguments for me.
And what's so awesome about this is that like our quote unquote average is still in a very healthy spot, and we can start looking at some of these running backs. Like, dude,
I'm curious how we build if Taylor's in there. Just, we can absolutely move off of him if it's like, oh, gross, but like, no one's gonna play him, and they probably should.
Like, and so we really like Ken Walker as well. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna queue up Ken Walker.
Yep.
Again, just as we're slowly building this. I think the other options kind of even below that range, we're not as excited about. We did talk about playing Stevenson, Emmanuel Wilson, which I think would be kind of a really great play given the Josh Jacobs news.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to there. We have a couple good names there. Wide receiver is another option where we can either try to pay up for, like, we might not be able to play JSN despite how much we want to.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Rashee Rice at 77 is fine. He's going to score. That's probably too expensive, to be honest. I mean, what about JMO and Alec Pierce?
I think this is kind of perfect. Yeah, sure. Like, our average remaining is 3,500. That doesn't matter. You know why? Because we're gonna go to our defense here.
Yeah, we're not.
And we're gonna do something stupid. Like, the Browns are 2,900.
Yeah.
The who else we got here? We like.
I'd play the
Saints at 2,500.
Absolutely,
might be awesome.
Like, how are the Falcons going to score points? Like, it has to be Bijan, and if they shut down Bijan, they're not scoring points at all.
And we learned from last week, even if they give you -2 points, it might not matter.
Yeah.
And that's why the defense is brilliant. Yeah, give me this, man. Give me the sack king, or rather the slowest little QB we got here. And now this is where JT comes to bite us in the butt, because we're at 4,500.
Let's see.
There's actually not that bad options.
I mean, Dortch, just go the 2 consecutive weeks of just 4 Cardinals.
What would you play the Arizona Cardinals?
He's an option. Kyle Pitts, like, I know that we're pooping on the Falcons, but like, he played well the last time Cousins started, if I remember correctly.
That would have been against Miami. Yeah, because he had 9 targets, 9 catches.
Like, Cousins just kind of fed him as like the de facto Drake London replacement.
That's a really good option. And I was hovering over Dallas Goedert because I
Yeah.
was interested as well.
Happy to play him. Like, I think it's 2 tight end week again. I think that you just kind of have to in a lot of these spots. I think Jawan Johnson is perfectly fine. I think he's a little cheaper, but like, you know, we talked about Hunter Henry before at 3,900. I think a 2 tight end build is kind of the way to go, especially if we go cheaper, because then we could even consider like going up from either JMO or Pierce to kind of round out the wide receiver room.
Yeah, I am very interested in just going back to tight end, picking up, like you said, Hunter Henry, because we want to have a piece of that game. Yeah, why not? Right? So like maybe we go something here. And now say just because I think I really like JMO in this type of lineup.
Yeah.
Now we're at 5,600. Now we get our Devonta Smith.
Perfect.
Which I think is actually just a brilliant little plug-in here.
Yeah, I would happily play Devonta Smith in this lineup. I think that's...
I dig this. I like the lineup a lot. Famous last words.
We've built so long. I am also interested in... I mean, you could also, if you don't want to play Taylor, you could play JSN instead of one of these receivers, and you can get up to a pretty decent running back in the $6,500 range if you want to, and play it that way. I think I like this lineup better, but if anyone watching is just not really a fan of the 2 tight end setup, I think there's ways to play around with it. Like we talked about Kamara, like I think a running back room of Kamara and Walker is perfectly fine. Or even if you want to go up to Derrick Henry or Saquon, there's a lot of other fun options without having to pay $10K.
Yeah, and even just looking right now, like say we add JSN, that means we're looking at Jalen Warren, Javonte, Genty, Chase Brown, Breece Hall.
Yeah.
You know,
Javonte,
I think
totally fine.
Yeah, I think this is a okay range of running backs. It's just a little scary, kind of like we were talking about a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
so
you kind of have to get up to Barkley or Henry some way, which you can. Like, you can go down from Hunter Henry, or you can go down from Devonta Smith, and you can figure it out if you would rather do Henry or Barkley instead of Javonte in that realm. But
exactly.
I think there's a lot of ways to play it, and I think double tight end is kind of the way to make it all work this week.
Yeah, especially since one of your tight end slots is legitimately a wide receiver. Yeah. Like don't overthink Trey McBride. Yeah. He is a wide receiver in your tight end spot. He is going to provide that value.
Yeah, he is. I would say he's the second best wide receiver on the slate behind JSN, and he's $2,200 cheaper. So just think of him in that way, and you'll be able to build a lot better lineups, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to go. I mean, I'm going to absolutely. Where's my save button? I want to save this lineup here. We'll do it later. That's all right. Because we have created our roster. I think this is a good one. Pause for screenshots for people who want to keep it. But see me probably queuing this one up in our Fantasy Now Plus weekly challenge.
Kind of jealous that you get this lineup.
You can have it too. The beauty. That would go
over poorly at all.
Oh man. But anyway, all right. We are done. We have completed our marathon before Thanksgiving. And honestly, maybe that's how we'll wrap this one up. This is our extra long episode.
Yep.
Because we're not going to be around next week. So I had a thought, now it's gone. But anyway, Tim, as always, any last parting thoughts before we head out?
Not overly. We've kind of talked about it last week. Just the pricing's getting tighter. There's almost no values on this slate at all, as you saw. Like everything under 4K that feels stomachable is a tight end. So the defenses are going to be very tempting to pay up for, and I don't think you're going to have the salary to do so. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting slate, and hope you all have a nice Thanksgiving next week and a nice holiday. And we've got some Thursday night games that'll be fun for once instead of a putrid slog fest that we normally get. So yeah, we'll see you guys back in week 14.
That's absolutely right. And echoing that sentiment, have a wonderful holiday. Have a safe holiday. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the folks that you are having your Thanksgiving dinner with or your Thanksgiving lunch, whatever you're doing. Just have a good time, relax, enjoy the games, and here's hoping that your showdown slates on Thanksgiving find a way to make you a few extra bucks. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around with us for an extra long episode. And best of luck going this weekend. Signing off. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.